Hello there and welcome back to D-ODORANT, a channel dedicated to strange and interesting facts about Star Wars lore. If you love strange Star Wars lore and want to stay up to date on everything High Republic related, be sure to subscribe. In today's episode, we're going to be looking at the types of relationships displayed in the High Republic and speculate as to how strict the no attachment rule is during this era, and why it might be the way that it is. For starters, let's look at Ember, the infected charhound that the Jedi encountered at the entrance of their outpost on El Frana. If they had strictly adhered to the Order's rule against attachment, they would have returned the hound back into the wild after nourishing it and treating its wounds. However, many of the Jedi on the planet's outpost seemed to grow quite fond of the charhound, especially Bell, who named her and would slip her some of his food during meals. They even informally enlisted her as a member of their crew to work around the law of not forming attachments. While there have been instances in the prequels and beyond with characters like Anakin forming attachments to many of those who are close to him, this is one of the first times in Star Wars history in which we see an instance where a group of Jedi all more or less agreed to ignore this rule set by the Order. Loden Greatstorm, who is the Jedi Master, was even the one who came up with the idea of making Ember a member of their team, meaning it was not only Padawans who were willing to ignore the rule. Speaking of which, even Avarakri seems to break this rule, clearly being attached to Elzar Mond. She decides to pick him to help her investigate the cause of the great disaster despite his more reckless nature, likely due to the fact that they learned at the temple together and she enjoyed his company. She even contemplates spending her retirement with him. Given her high-ranking status among the Jedi, it would be expected that Avarakri would more heavily adhere to the Order's rules, but even she can't help but to grow attached to those close to her. In general, it seems as though the High Republic Era Jedi are less wary of breaking the no-attachment law when compared to Jedi in the prequel era, or are at least willing to do so more openly. But why might this be the case? Well, it seems like it has a lot to do with location. During the High Republic, Jedi outposts are set up all over the galaxy, meaning many Jedi are stationed much further from Coruscant and the Jedi Temple than they were in later eras. As such, this physical distance likely makes the laws set forth by the Order and the consequences of breaking such laws feel far less present. It seems that most of these outposts established a more informal atmosphere, still upholding the same Jedi virtues and teachings, but adhering slightly less to a strict and rigorous enforcement of some of the Order's laws. Additionally, this is a golden era, not just for the Jedi, but for all of the Republic. As such, without any galaxy-wide conflicts or wars to attend to, it would make sense that the Jedi would allow themselves to relax and grow stronger bonds to those who are around them. During the Clone Wars, there was a strong possibility of losing a fellow Jedi in each and every battle, making forming attachments far more likely to end in tragedy, and potentially volatile Jedi behavior. However, in an era without major conflict, the risks of growing closer to one another were far less pressing. The Jedi of the High Republic era didn't completely forego this law. They still didn't form romantic relationships with others or get married. But in general, it seems like they allowed themselves to grow closer to those around them when compared to the Jedi of other eras. Anyway, those are my thoughts on the less strict adherence to the no attachment rule in the era of the High Republic. Thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed the video.